Welcome back to James Hates Everything, and today is gonna be fun. We've got the long haul, the long wait, the trog to try to get the Nintendo Switch 2. So, thanks everybody for being here today. We are going to cover all kinds of fun stuff while we wait. Figured first we'll do a little tips and tricks how you can get the edge up on securing your own Nintendo Switch 2 if you so should desire. We'll talk about some of the releases, and depending on time, we might jump into some AI and see if we can use AI to create a bot that can snag one for us. So before we get into all that, let's take a look and say hi to everybody in the chat. We have Jason S. drop by. Of course, Jason Little Alien, the moderator extraordinaire, the the moderator to end all moderators, the king of moderation. We have the Cornercade. We have JJ. Thanks for dropping by. Calvin Wong, always nice to see you. So, of course, we have, as always, a poll in the chat. Are you getting one? Do you plan on getting one? I hope, or I assume you might if you're hanging out in here because, they don't go live for 2 hours. So, lots and lots to behold until then. And for some reason, StreamYard is acting the fool, so all my preset stages are not working properly. So let's give this a try. And it didn't, as expected. Have the same stuff across all these different companies. So there's the Target, there's the Best Buy. And as noted, we'll keep an eye out on everything related. My address is plastered on there, so that's great. I have to go fix that. So anyway, the so again, the big thing I wanted to point out on there is that Donkey Kong Bonanza is not scheduled to come out until July. So be wary of the pre-order and know that when you're going into it, you're not going to get it at launch. There are some bundles at places that you can jump on that, include that and other things. So watch out for those if you're playing on it. Obviously, they'll make it easier because it's like adding everything into your cart all at once. But I think Best Buy may be the only one that I know that's doing like the whole big bundle thing. Certainly, they're doing that at GameStop. But again, at GameStop, you have to buy in person. So that's the big stuff. I'm not going to buy an SD card, the new Micro Express SD card, but that's something a lot of people are buying out of the gate since I do physical and I want the real physicals. Generally, you don't need too much hard drive space when you do that extra space, but it is there. So I'm curious. I'm curious what you guys are interested in. What are you going to be picking up along the way? Anything special? What do you guys have your eyes on? So be sure to drop that in the chat. It says MG is going to buy 10. I'm sure he will give me one. Yes, indeed, he will give you one, Carla. I have no doubt. Thor KC says he's only sort of excited for it. If it were just me, I'd hold off, but it's not just me, and Mrs. Thor won't allow it. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, to me, Mario Kart World looks fun. It's not worth $80 in my opinion, but I'm still going to be picking it up because it's going to be fun to play with everybody, obviously. Switch 2 and Mario Kart is all Jason's in for. Pac-Man on the Switch. Okay. That's a good one. Says Thor is from Pinball King, and I'm getting custom art for the sides. It's more than you should pay, but it's an heirloom piece. So probably missed some conversation there.
Third-party controllers, or will only official Greed Tendo accessories work with the Switch 2? So we already have at least there's Hori has a camera. The Fireflower camera is from Hori. So I would expect third-party controllers to be released shortly after pre-order date. I would imagine all the major companies that have them are going to release them. Certainly, there's a lot of third-party cases, all that stuff. And don't forget, your Switch 1 Pro controller will work on the Switch 2. The only difference is it takes a little longer to charge, and probably the battery doesn't last as much, and it doesn't have the C button. I will tell you, in my opinion, the Switch 1 Pro controller lasts an ample amount of time, so the battery issues aren't something I'm too worried about. But I do want to pick up the new one just because I'm a big fan of the Switch Pro controller, and I know that one will be good too. The Wii U Pro controller was awesome as well. And so I'm just interested in grabbing another one for that reason. So let's talk a little tips, since you guys are, several of you have indicated you are looking to get one. So the first tip I would say is fall back to your phone first. So oftentimes the websites can get overwhelmed because, as you can see, if we get into playing with AI and the AI tool that I kind of want to see if we can create using AI, people just bombard it, right? Refreshing over and over and over and over. So if you have Target app, Walmart app, Best Buy app, have those ready to go. Get to the page you want to be on. You'll see, I've done that already on my phone. And let's bring this back up here. And we'll actually, do I have a way to put that in the little corner? Yeah, we do. We'll just leave that in the little corner. So that's, have the phone apps ready. I would say that's a big one. The other thing, obviously, if one of the good tricks you can do, obviously, and some people don't believe it works, but it does, is open on multiple computers. And if you have a single computer open on different browsers themselves, they will. I don't know how many of these, if any of these, plan on throwing you in a queue or something. For the most part, I think they're all just going to go live, add to cart, and you need to go as quickly as possible. So when we talk going quickly as possible, what are the things you need to do? You need to be logged in already. So do that. Make sure you have a payment method saved on there. And as people have learned in recent years with the PlayStation 5 Pro, all that stuff, you might want to preemptively contact your bank or credit card company, which is probably too late at this point, but let them know that you are anticipating a large purchase so that they don't cancel it on you during the thing, or deny it, because nothing is worse than clicking submit and then it being blocked and you getting those denials. And then suddenly you go back and it's all sold out. So that would be extremely frustrating. And so be prepared or be ready for that. What are some of the other things? Just spitballing here. I don't have my list in front of me. Let's see. We talked about being logged in, having your credit card ready, using your phone, using multiple browsers, all that fun stuff. I know there was something else I wanted to mention, so it'll come back to me as we sit here today. Yes, yes, Dean. Yeah, LifeLock, indeed. Brooklyn, thanks for dropping by. I'm gonna buy the old Switch as it gets cheaper. Absolutely. So that's the other thing. If you want to save some money, you can, of course, do trade-ins at GameStop. They're all ready to go for tomorrow, so you can do big trade-ins as you get there. Let's see. JJ says, aren't all quality micro SD storage cards express anyway? Isn't the standard micro SD XC? So no, these express cards are brand new, and really there's a very few that will actually work with the Switch. So it's highly recommended you look for Switch 2 compatible on there, because this is a new format. They're fairly expensive. So 256 meg, or is it meg? 256 gig card, meg would be very small, is going to run you about $55. So you get up into the terabyte range and you're talking a couple hundred. So make sure you're buying the right SD card, and we can bring that up real quick. Let me grab one here. In fact, there's probably one link down here. Well, I know there is on this one. So here you can't see it very well, but we can flip it up here. So here you can see this one's, it's $60 for the Nintendo branded one, but there's nothing special but a little M stuck on there. Obviously, you can go look at Amazon, but for other compatible ones, and it doesn't actually provide much info here. That is not very helpful, Nintendo. But as we see, you're looking for that EX1 on here, specifically this EX logo right here. You guys can see that. That's what you were looking for, not XC. That's like you pointed out, JJ. That's pretty standard these days. Is the XC? You want to look for that EX on there. So, and then we'll flip back as soon as I find my mouse. And again, I have no intention of buying that. So, at least not right away. I'll wait till the prices come down. So again, if you're looking for that XD card, look for that XC, or I'm sorry, the EX on there. Yep. So there you go there. So you guys, obviously we've seen the games at this point, and we mentioned that Hori camera. So what I want to say about the Hori camera is it is probably something you want to avoid. It looks really cool. It's a fire flower. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it looks really, really cool. Unfortunately, I don't think they have it here. It's only a 480p camera, so it's considerably less than 1080p. Like, I don't even know who would buy a 480p camera at this point, but it is. So if you actually want to use the camera, you need to at a minimum get the Nintendo one. Stay away from the Hori unless you plan to gut it and put a different camera in it, because while it looks cool and maybe a nice little piece to display, it's not going to be functional the way you want it to. The other fun bit of news that I heard this morning was I'm drawing a blank on the YouTuber off the top of my head, but they've done some analysis on the DLSS. So all these games obviously are using DLSS to upscale to 4K and even 1080p. So specifically like Cyberpunk 2077, not 2020, 2077. And they were able to, using some of the demo footage and stuff like that, find the frames where, say, it emerges from a cutscene into main gameplay. And the way DLSS works, right, it's not going to be able to upscale those first couple frames until it knows what's going on in order to draw the right frames. And they found in those first couple frames that the actual games are being rendered at 580p. So I think 540p, right? So not 580, 540p. Which is absolutely insane. So they're rendering games at 540p, whether docked or handheld, and then they're using DLSS to get it up to 1080p or to 4K. And of course, a lot of people are saying like it looks just as good as PS5 in a lot of games, right? So that just speaks to how far DLSS has come, and that it's able to take such a low res image, like really, right, not even high def, and upscale it all the way to 4K, to where all that fidelity on all that richness of the graphics and the, just everything is still there. So that's pretty darn impressive. And I think the proof obviously will be in the pudding. There's only so much we can tell from streams, and that's kind of what these guys are going off of, is the videos that Nintendo uploaded and these companies uploaded in order to do the analysis. But that's some crazy good AI upscaling, and can't wait to see what it actually looks like in person, because that's, rendering it at 540 is less than what the regular Switch renders at. So that's pretty impressive stuff in order to achieve that increase. So lots of good stuff to look at. MG says it's like taking James content and polishing it into P-Dub's content. Okay. I don't know what that is. But that's pretty. Oh, I got you. Har, har, har. Now I get it. So definitely an interesting setup for sure. But so let's do something fun. I'm going to pull this down for now. We don't need to be showing that. Obviously, we could talk about all the different games, opinions of the games. We've done that quite a bit. Obviously, Mario Kart World is really the only new title at launch, which is kind of frustrating. We have the other ones that will be available on launch day, of course, are Mario Party Jamboree with the extra stuff. You have the 2 Zelda games that are now in 4K or whatever. Fine. That's great. But those are all games we have or already played. I think you also have the Kirby Forgotten Lands, again, with some DLC attached. But truly the only new game we have at launch day is going to be Mario Kart World, which is unfortunate. It would have been nice to have some more launch titles and not just re-releases or third-party titles from other systems. So there are going to be quite a few games, but those are the only first-party Nintendo ones at launch. And then we get Donkey Kong soon after, as we've mentioned. So that's a little frustrating to me, but it is, what are you going to do? It is, of course, backwards compatible, so we should be able to play most of our old games. That's the other thing, how it's backwards compatible, right? It doesn't have the Switch hardware in it, and it's an all-new architecture for the Switch 2. So they've had to do a combination of emulation middleware in order to get the Switch 1 games to work, which is why they're not all fully compatible. That's also interesting. You'll have to wonder, with that extra added layer, even with the Switch 2's beefier performance, is it going to give us, are they going to run crappy, right? Are we going to get weird frame issues, tearing, latency, some of those things? So it's a little scary to think about where that compatibility is, backwards compatibility, because we really haven't seen that demoed, right? So that's a little bit of a concern I'd imagine that it'll be fine, and it's, I think, low possibility that we'll have issues, but it is very interesting. And of course, they only have, a couple months, month and it, what, not even 2 months at this point. They have little over a month to work out those kinks before launch day, or they'll get bombarded with people frustrated about this. So while that's cooking, we grab. We're gonna do this. I don't need that. uh, okay, so let me stop sharing that. Let's instead have some fun. And I really wish, like, it's like missing some of my arrangements. So I don't know what happened with um, whatever the hell this StreamYard did, but it's really frustrating that they kind of messed all this stuff up. Dang it. All right. So what I'm using here is the Chat GPT o3 model. So I figure what we're going to do is we are going to try to create a JavaScript chatbot a JavaScript bot that will do the heavy lifting for us, right? So JavaScript just runs in your browser, so it's no special thing. It's easy to load. We can just throw it into an HTML page on our computer. We can open it up, run the JavaScript. The JavaScript will do the heavy lifting of going through these web pages to wait until the orders come live. And then hopefully we can also get it to add the items to our cart for us. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start prompting it. And the reason I'm using the O3 model, and that is important, is it's the reasoning engine. It's going to go do the extra steps for us of doing some research. It's going to go out and learn how to do it, do what we want. It's going to create some tasks for itself and work through it. It will then write the code for us and give us a way to actually execute and try this out. So we may have to take a few stabs at this, tweak it a little bit, but let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is tell it what we want. So I'm going to say, please create a um, shopping bot that is JavaScript based and can run in a browser that will monitor the below pages, and when the switch to item listed is available for purchase, will add it to the cart. It should check periodically and more often the closer we get to release time, which is 11 p.m. Central, 12 Eastern, et cetera, on April 24th, 2025. Or, yeah. Let's give it some links. So I'm just going to go over here, grab these from Target. Where did you go? All right, and now what I'm going to do is actually going to go back up here and I'm going to clarify why I'm doing it so it knows. Um, I want this so that I can get the items for myself and beat any scalpers. I only want one of each. When you find the order is live, the bot should play a sound to alert me. There, let's just go with that and see what it does. So while that's cranking away, and you'll see down here the model's reasoning, you may see it come up and give you some prompts as to what it's doing, right? Oh, and wow, sorry, I can't help with that. Why not? So this is fun. So we're probably hitting I can't assist because it likely violates their sites. Let's see if we can get around this. All right. So I'm going to say, I don't want you to automate the purchase. Just automate adding to the cart. The bot should model normal user behavior. See if it'll even let me. So thought this might have been the possibility. Yeah, MG, maybe add a please. Nope, still doesn't like it. So gotta think, how would we get around this? What can you do to help me know when the item is live? So let's just get it to get there. So there's always a way around some of these things. Thor says, now you got me thinking. I wonder if I should try putting my PS4 plus PSVR setup into a cabinet. That's interesting. Let's see. Here are 3 practical policy compliant ways you can get heads up on instant product flips from sold out to add cart without trying to automate the purchase itself. Play a sound. Yeah. So right away, right? It's basically done it for us. Runs entirely inside the page you already have open. Same origin, so no chorus headaches. Every in seconds, it looks for the red sold out badge or the add to cart button. When it finds it, it plays a sound. So yeah, so it's going to monitor the page and let us know if it pops up. And we can see here it's going to do an interval of 10 minutes at first, and then or 90 seconds, and then drop down to every 5 seconds as we go. So I guess this accomplishes basically what we want, right? I want something that's going to monitor the page. I'm not looking to, I was hoping to save a couple extra seconds by having it just go ahead and click the button for us, but it doesn't want to do that. I'm sure we could sit here and bang at it and get there. But whatever. So here's our code, and it's given us here our nice little code snippet. And, if you're not a developer, you can then start drilling into this. You can ask it, hey, how am I going to do this? What are the steps I have to take? And it's given us a second option, right? So Prosa here is no installation, respects target's front end, mimics a human refresh. You have to keep the tabs open. Page must stay focused at least once for the script to run. Some browsers, hidden tabs, keep them pinned on the occasion. So, um, interesting. Where are we plugging that in at? Click the bookmark, leave the tab sitting in the background. You'll hear a chime. Like, how's it calling this JavaScript code? Anyway, if you'd rather manage all 5 products from one user script instead of 5 bookmarks, click install Tamper Monkey, then paste this script. It detects which product page you're on, reloads only the tiny JSON stock endpoint target site already calls, so you don't hammer the full HTML. So that's also interesting, right? So here's another tool. I like how it threw a website I don't own on there, to do that same monitoring. And of course, if you want to use Node.js, here's another one. So it's given us several options. You can see it's gone through and said, hey, we can do all of these things in order to get that to work. So that's pretty cool. Like, if you just wanted to chill out, relax, you have options. So let's drill through it. Let's just say we don't know what we're doing. So let's ask it, how would we implement number 1? And we'll just let that crank at that for a while. Right, here's the code. Create the bookmarklet. And then turn it into a bookmark. Remove the line breaks, prepend, add the bookmark. Chrome, Edge, Firefox, right click, add page, or just drop the bookmarklet link generated above. Use it on drop night. Shooting and tweaks. So entire script on one line. Easy way to paste the script into. Yeah, so let's check out this link. Let's remove. All right, let's stop share. We'll share here. So you'll notice the link the AI gave us is going to do the heavy lifting for us. So we can grab, enter your JavaScript code, link name, convert to bookmarklet. So let's go back up here and we'll grab the original code. Just copy that and throw it in here and convert to bookmarklet. And here's the code. Locked. You did it. You can run your bookmark by clicking here. So feels like there's something not that's allowing us to run. So we might have to debug this thing. Uh, Actually, let's just try a couple different things here. Yep, that did not work either. So it's not liking that. Um, uh, so that's fun. Like that's not working. So let's go back to the AI and tell it that it's not working. So what I've done here is I told it, "Hey, it's not working. It's not really giving us an error. I want you to test it and troubleshoot it." So we'll see if it has the capability to execute code and do these things. So let's see what it can actually do, and see if it might get us wrong. So while it's doing that, uh, Weasel Chiz says, "Where's the code?" So we're all this code is just being purely generated. Not really going to share this. This is more for educational. Let's play AI. Thanks, MG. Um, why the bookmarklet is getting blocked when you kick bookmark could run as inline JavaScript. Most likely ships strict content security policy header. So blah 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 without unsafe. Inline means any code injection blocks immediately. You'll see an error code. What? 3 ways around it. Paste the code in DevTools. Rewrite the bookmarklet and script inject itself. Run it from an extension context like Grease Monkey. So everything's going back to that Grease Monkey thing. So, I don't really have plans to actually run or use this. I wanted to just see if we could do it in a relatively short fashion. So you can see it's writing good, theoretically good code. It doesn't run. It should have told us from the beginning that it was going to have code injection issues with this, strict content. I don't know why that would they would even see that, quite frankly, because the JavaScript should be running on our end. But maybe they could see it in the call somehow. I don't get it. But either way, we could probably make it work with that Grease Monkey thing. But that's, I'm not going to sit here and try to learn some Grease Monkey thing for this one. I don't plan on using it anyway. This is more to show you like you can do these things and it will become more and more important as time goes on. Yeah, MG. I mean, I could obviously just drop it into a HTML page currently. I'm trying to get it to, so what it's trying to do is fight two different things, right? It wants to, use it in a way where you're actually on the page. So you're not trying to get around it that way. You're not crossing the strict site. Forget what the name is. It actually said it earlier. The domains, because it was talking about one thing, the CORS rules, right? Which keep the cross-site scripting and stuff nipped in the bud. So, they're trying to get around it with this. It won't really matter. Like I said, I didn't actually plan on running this more than just to show it and test it. But just to kind of show like this is how easy you can have these things function. I could literally say, hey, do it in Python. It'd run in this, right? So uh, instead, can you create Python that you run that plays a sound to alert me when the switch to page has the add to cart button enabled. So like this AI can actually execute and run Python on its own system. So there's certain things you can do there. I don't think it's going to keep it in a running in a constant state. It's just going to execute once. So it probably might crap out on doing it. But you can see here it's writing the Python code now. And on top of that, it can actually execute that Python code. This is how you would install it if you're going to run it on your own computer, which it's doing. Yada, yada, yada. So we don't really care. But again, there's a way to do it quickly in Python as well. So you can do these things, flip around, do all kinds of stuff. Trying to think of something like, can you give me a chart of the number of switch units produced in Vietnam and shipped to the US over the last 12 months, and plot a trend line. So this should then go out and try to find that data, if that data is even there, and go out and look for it and give us the chart we asked for. And boy, my screen just lit up for another browser. So it's going out, finding the exports, trying to find data. Hopefully it finds the one article that data's in that I've seen. It might not, depends on how good it can search. Might come back and tell us it can't. But it's fun playing with AI while we're doing all this, right? TechBuzz, thanks for dropping by. Says, I had a Chrome page refresher plugin installed in Chrome, and Walmart, after 20 refreshes, asked me to click this button and hold it to prove I was human. Yeah, that's not unusual in today's day and age. That and some of the even more complex, like human checks are crazy. I think it was it Analog that did it? There was some company that had one that the test was incredibly difficult. Like, I was like, man, you've made this so difficult. I think it was the PS5 on that portal. They had a weird thing. It's like, it was pointless. Like, I'm on the portal and it was still making you jump through all these hoops. It was totally crazy. Yeah, I will say, like, most of these scalpers already have big bots that get around all this stuff already. So as well, quick chat GPT. I mean, look, we spent 10 minutes playing with it. You give me a day or two and we could crank something out here that'll work awesome. The point is how quickly you can do some of these things. You can see this reasoning agent, like, if it didn't have their own content protections and moderation on here, it would have written us something. Right now it's going around gathering data. It's doing web searches to find the information I asked for. And then it's gonna, here's our chart, right? Vietnam to US Nintendo Switch 2 shipments over the last 12 months. It looks like we have 2 data points, right? And this jives because this is what I've found on the internet. We have the January shipment, which was just under 500,000. And then we had the close to 1 million, which was like 800,000 in February. So it went out to the internet. It found the data. There's actually a bar chart in that article. It didn't give me that bar chart. It plotted the line graph of those 2 data points that it had. And then it did a projection based on those 2 data points. Now, the projection is probably garbage because 2 data points do not a trend make, but it just kind of shows you how quickly and easy these things can do it for you. And you'll notice it's labeled everything for you. It's given you, you know, labels that make sense. It's given us a key. So all that from just one simple question. And, here's the data, right? 383,000 units, 725,000 units. Like, it had the exact numbers, and it found those out there, which is pretty crazy. And you can see it even kind of tells you where it got it from the Bloomberg terminal. And then the US Census, US trade data. So it went out there and actually looked some of the stuff up to convert the costs and things. So it's pretty crazy, like, what these reasoning models can do for you. So consider this a free lesson. Let's see here. Porta potties were nowhere to be seen. Okay, I missed some conversation. I'm typing this from outside a GameStop in Milwaukee. Okay, MG, are you out there with PD7? So I'll be interesting. I heard there were, at least at some GameStops, a couple people already lined up in the country. I don't think in reality, like, you probably need to. As I noted, they're getting 60 to 100 at pretty much every GameStop. So do you really need to sit out there that much? While we're waiting, I'm going to bring up Wario and kind of keep an eye on any breaking news. So let me share him. And if you guys don't know Wario, you're missing out. So Wario 64 here, obviously. And you can find him on X. This is the go-to guy on, if you want info on bots and availability of products and things like that. So he is one to watch. And you got here, less than an hour warning for Nintendo Switch 2 US pre-orders. See below for console links. So he tries to give you all the links: Best Buy, Target, and Walmart, all 9 Pacific. It gives you lots of good news. So we'll keep an eye on Wario here, just for any kind of news. Has anyone heard if Walmart or Best Buy is limiting 1 per console or customer? I know GameStop is. That I have not heard on limits. What I have heard is that Walmart is guaranteeing on pre-orders delivery by 9 a.m. on release day. So that's pretty awesome. So unlike GameStop, that maybe will probably do a midnight release, right? And I believe Best Buy has also indicated they'll do a midnight release on day of shipping. So even if you order from Walmart, you're not going to be waiting for UPS or somebody to deliver it that day or the day after. You'll actually be able to get it first thing in the morning on the day of release, which is huge. So that's pretty awesome. Prince Malcolm says, "Hey James, 4 of the companies just put out a message to make sure you are logged on before midnight." So yeah, that was definitely one of the tips we gave earlier. So definitely make sure you're logged in, ready to go. You've loaded payment methods up. Get all that in. Of course, reiterate, default to your phone. Try to use your phone first. That is going to be less prone to website errors because typically these phone apps aren't necessarily drawing HTML. Some of them do, but most of them will be just using APIs in the background. So you're less likely to get swamped by bots and things that will overwhelm the website. So that's a little tip is always go where everybody isn't, right? So if everybody says they're going to go to Best Buy, go somewhere else first. try to keep stores in your area that maybe aren't all over that will sell a Switch. Keep those in mind. Of any local shops or retailers that aren't necessarily nationwide that carry this stuff, because chances are they're getting and doing pre-orders and sales tonight as well. So think outside the box, think beyond those big 3 and 4 if you count Amazon, if and when they ever decide to create a page to even have those up. Which is pretty interesting that they still have nothing and we're less than an hour away, or just about an hour away, I guess. Another person, Brother Feet, says he is outside of a GameStop right now. They have 9 Switch 2s in 24 bundle Switch 2s. Wait, they have 9 Switch 2s in 24 bundle Switch 2s. Okay, so I'm guessing 9 that you can get it by itself. Oh, 9 singular and 24 with the Mario Kart. Sorry, when I read bundle, I'm reading that I having flashbacks from old systems where GameStop's like, if you want to buy one of these, you also have to buy a controller, a gift card, and 4 games. So when I hear bundle, that's what I think of. So the GameStop you're at has 33 of them. So that's good. So hopefully where you're at in line and are guaranteed to get one. One of the great things about GameStop pre-orders, for those of you who don't know, you only have to put $50 down and you don't pay until the day of the release. So when you go pick it up at midnight, that's when you pay the remainder. So that's a really great way to get it purchased without having to shell out all the money today. But thankfully, with this pre-order and with the delay, we're really only 5 weeks anyway, so it's not a huge difference. MG says Amazon have beef with Nintendo, so they won't. No, it's just Amazon has this. They did this with some of the other releases. They tend to wait and they just do it whenever they feel like. So quite frankly, I'm surprised they haven't just shoved them out there already, because that happens too. Like where they just like, oh, who cares about your release date? We're just pushing it. So you can have anything happen over on Amazon. It is kind of silly though that they don't have a pre-order page ready to go, because they've done that with other companies, but not necessarily on consoles like this. Brooklyn says another way to get pre-orders are find the sites that force you to buy a bundle. That's how I got my, that's definitely another one. If you have to buy a bundle, people are going to try not to buy the big bundle. Right now, I'm not sure. I know at least Best Buy has bundles available, but I don't think you're forced to do one. They're just making it easier to add everything to the cart all at once. Amazon did almost the same thing with PlayStation 5. There was 3 anonymous links that popped up. Yeah. Fist of Love says, hoping that GameStop does close for business like they tend to do. Yeah, I'm hoping that there aren't a bunch of people camping out at the GameStops near me, because that's my fallback plan, right? If I can't get one, I'll probably jump over there, but I don't plan on camping out by any means, because I also have one through the Nintendo Reserve in the eShop. So if you haven't done that already, you can go to Nintendo's website and you can put a reservation in. I think if you haven't done that by now, I don't know what the odds are, but that's a much more relaxed method. You're pretty much guaranteed if you qualify. Now, I don't know if you're guaranteed to necessarily get it on launch day, but you're guaranteed. And the way they do is first come, first serve. You get 72-hour window to make your purchase. And they're making sure you just can't be Joe Blow that signs up. You have to be somebody who's been with them before the announcement. You have to have Nintendo Switch Online. You have to have so many hours of gameplay registered. So they're doing it the right way. And of course, they're giving you plenty of time to make your purchase. I honestly don't think that getting the Switch to itself is going to be that big of a challenge for people. I think it's going to be, people are going to get their orders in. what I'm concerned with, and what I think the biggest fear is getting the accessories and the physical games. I think those are going to be in very limited supply. That's really where the challenge is going to be. Um, Obviously, I think the games are going to go before things like the controllers. So, think through that. Obviously, a controller at $85, that's a lot of incentive not to buy that one right out of the gate. The other thing is things that might hang around longer are like those amiibos. They announced yesterday or the day before. Amiibo prices went crazy. So the third party amiibos, like the Street Fighter 6 characters, are $40. That's insane for an amiibo. And the first party ones, like the Tears of the Kingdom ones, they're all $30, so nearly double, basically double, or at a minimum $10 more than they normally are. So that's all, of course, tariffs. So clearly they must not be manufacturing amiibos in Vietnam, so they're not able to get around the China tariffs there, because that is outrageously expensive. So I like the amiibos. Some games really use them, not so much anymore, but I will not be partaking with these, even though I kind of want to, because they are way too expensive. Um, it says there's some shady GameStop near me. You wouldn't pay me enough to camp out there. Yeah. The other thing I heard, and I believe PD7 shared this morning, is for every pre-order that each GameStop gets, Nintendo has guaranteed them 2. So you pre-order one, you get another one on top of it. Not you, the buyer, but GameStop. So if they pre-sell and sell 50 and the person who is just up there has 33, if they pre-order and sell all 33, Nintendo is going to ship 66 to GameStop for that location. So they'll be able to fill the 33, and then they'll have 33 more on top of it. So again, still an opportunity to pick these up even on launch day should you miss out. It will be interesting. eBay to this point has done a great job of shooting scalpers down, removing their listings. As we get within the 30-day window, it'll be interesting to see if they continue that, because those will no longer violate their terms of service. Certainly hoping, because these scalpers will go berserk on these. But that's why our best hope is that Nintendo floods the market with them. So Brooklyn says, James is saying this to get us all to go for the games first so he can snag the console. No, I think you got to get your console, but then go straight to games, because I do think the console is going to be a little bit easier, but the games are going to be harder. The games you can miss out on, right? Unless you really have to have physical, you can get the games digitally. It's not like they're going to sell out of games. You can get all these on download. So you're not going to be left without being able to get a game. But so secure your Switch 2 first, but then don't hesitate. If you're you really want the physical version, don't hesitate, because you might have problems there, because I understand that those are in really limited supply, because obviously Nintendo wants you to buy the digital version anyway. And I think most people, I can imagine in this chat, most of you are probably looking at getting the bundle anyway to save the $30. So, there is that. The Beame, or the Beam, I don't know how you pronounce that, met PD7 at Midwest Gaming Classic. Even got a spot on his video. Excellent. Yeah, I think I saw you in that video. Yeah, Phil's a great guy. I actually met him for the first time at Midwest Gaming Classic last year. And that's a great convention. Super fun. One of my favorites for sure. How many 10K Switch 2 pre-orders will we see on eBay at 1201? Who knows? Probably way, way too many. After this pre-order, the next thing you have to deal with is delivery day. Yep. Oh, yeah. So true. So again, that's a benefit. So obviously, if you're doing most of these, I imagine you can probably tell both Walmart and Target you want to pick up in store. Now, how that might work, I don't know. I'm kind of wanting it just shipped to me, but depending on how this goes, obviously Walmart is guaranteeing delivery by 9 a.m. Best Buy, you can pick up in store at midnight. GameStop, you can only do your pre-order tomorrow, but you'll be able to pick it up in store that on that midnight. I think a lot of people, are going on the Target site, going for pickup, in-store pickup, so they can get it right away when they open, and not risk shipping delays and things like that. Um, uh, uh, MG says it's showing packages with games. Oh yeah, that at Best Buy. Yes, Best Buy does have bundles. Um, let me get to the consoles. So, oh, let me remove this. Stop screen share. Share. So yeah, so you can see on GameStop you can get the physical package, right? It's already in there. These are designed to help you add the whole bundle to the cart faster. So, you know, again, if you're really looking for these are one click. Now, this is the one I kind of warned about. You have the two, it comes with the Mario Kart Digital. You got the two Zelda games, but then it's got the Donkey Kong here. Again, Donkey Kong um, doesn't release at launch. You still got to wait till July to get that one. You have the Street Fighter 6 version, which comes with a $40 amiibo. So I guess as you're getting desperate, if that that one hangs around. Here we have essentially the Nintendo bundle. What is that? Comes with two Mario Kart worlds, or is that Jamboree? That is tiny. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that's Jamboree. So that's essentially all the day one Nintendo stuff, except the ones not day one. Here's the bundle with the SD card. That's not a bad option. This is probably the most enticing to me. You get the two physical Zeldas and the Mario Kart physical. I will say though, like you can probably buy Switch One versions of these Zeldas, and if you have Nintendo Switch Online, the upgrade is free. And so you can certainly buy that cheaper. These are both $80, if I remember right, or one's 70 and one's 80. I can't remember. They're not cheap for games that are already out, which is kind of frustrating. And of course, then you got the Mario Kart with the steering wheels. So there's your bundles in there if you're really, really wanting to go that way. Of course, they don't have a bundle that I want, which has the cart and that, but maybe I'll sit on this one because it'll be easier to add that. But you can see it's two separate. You'll add it all together. Oh, it looks like you can actually change the game. Interesting. I wonder if you can do that on the other ones. Let's take a look. Get off of there. Do we have one with a controller in a game? We do not. Yeah, well, so there you go. So that'll be interesting. So definitely keep an eye out for that if you're interested. That's a way to save a click. I'm not targeting Best Buy first, so I'm not super worried about that. But I know a lot of you Best Buy lovers out there are, and so that is a great time saving tip and good call, MG. Uh, Thor says bundle and I'm good. Donkey Kong is a bit tempting, but I'm sure it will be available for the same price for a very, very long time. Yeah, that's the game I really want. I really wish it was a launch day. Yeah, yeah. So the wheelchair game. Interestingly, I don't know when that one comes out because maybe it's digital only, but it's certainly not on the list of stuff you can pre-order. Uh, yeah, I mean that's what we're about to find out, right, Devastator? We're gonna have the fun of figuring out if these things all like screech to a halt, if they crash, or do we have smooth sailing and can get right through. I honestly haven't done a ton of research. Like obviously these went live in England and Japan and all over the world already, except for here in North America. And you didn't hear too much hubbub about having issues or people getting not being able to get it. So I don't know that that happened. I just haven't heard any major complaints coming out of that, which I would have thought we would have heard that through all the coverage, that if there were issues and people were hugely disappointed, it would have made a lot of mess. And yeah, this stuff ain't cheap. All made all the worse because of the tariff stuff. iArcade Gold. Yeah. And One Up. Yeah, Jesus. I have the steering wheels for the Switch and never use them. Yeah, they're kind of goofy. To me, those have always been like the steering wheel things are for little kids. Give me a thumbstick when it comes to Mario Kart. I don't want to. The motion control seems still silly. Yep. Yeah. And so Brooklyn's talking obviously about the PS5 Pro 30th, the mess that was, and how it was all time gated. You got in a queue and some people were there early and it kicked them out. Like there was all kinds of mess. And then of course, then you had the following day where people's orders were getting canceled, which we talked about that earlier today, right? Make sure you've talked to your credit card company and they don't cancel or block the charge, because that's what happened on 30th anniversary day. So make sure you're prepared and locked in. But the interesting thing was the way that Sony sold the PS5 Pro 30th in Japan. In the rest of the world, it was all right, time to buy, and everybody had to go crazy all across the world at their time. It rolled, right? But in Japan, they did it like Nintendo is doing on Nintendo, where they're saying, hey, you pre-register. We're going to validate you have been around long enough. You have enough gameplay hours. You are a member of Nintendo Switch Online, all that stuff, so that we know you are a true Nintendo fan. And as long as you meet that requirement, you are in. And beginning, I think the date is May 5th. Could be May 6th. That's when the emails start coming out that say, hey, it's your turn to order. You have 72 hours. Here's your link. You can go out there and click it. And when you do that, you then get the opportunity to not only buy the Switch 2, but buy the games and accessories you want with it. But they do note that the accessories are going to be in very limited supply, right? So that's why we know that's going to be a problem, is because Nintendo's telling us that it's going to be a problem. But they seem pretty confident to be able to meet at least the initial demand on the Switch 2 itself. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know what to expect. I've shared here before that, again, one real launch title that isn't a re-release. There's not a really compelling new play method. Adding a mouse, adding a camera, that's all things we've seen before. Is 4K enough to get your average person to upgrade? I don't think it is. I think this is obviously going to be hot and heavy here for the first, few months. But this is a system that I don't know is going to be as popular as things people hope it is. I think it'll have a bigger wave than, say, Wii U because of how popular the Switch 1 is. But again, I don't think you're going to convince a ton of parents who aren't Nintendo fanboys, or console fanboys in order to upgrade when their kids already have a Switch. Why would I buy a Switch 2? It looks exactly the same. Just because it's a little bit bigger, they're not going to understand. Everything looks the same. The boxes look the same. You've got some of the same games on it. I don't think you're going to get the kind of sell through anywhere close to what Switch 1 did. And I'm talking the whole life of the system. And so, I've called it this. I call it the Switch U, like the Wii U. But we'll see. So yeah, we still have, 40-ish minutes before this gets really going hot and heavy. So we will see. I'm excited. Let me take this down on and go back to see what Wario is up to. So no news there. That's always good. Um, got our quick links here, and of course, here's the news on GameStop. I've got my apps open, so checking there. P-Dubs, thanks for dropping by. You've certainly got time. You underestimate little Billy's ability to convince his parents with screaming and crying. There's definitely going to be some of that, obviously. But, I think obviously tariffs, the whole economic situation with post inflation, the price of games increasing, the price of all the accessories increasing. It's going to be a hard sell for the casuals, honestly. I think that's going to be a challenge. Cheap ass gamer is another one. Let me uh yeah, I'm not sure what all that is. So, video game deals. Okay, yeah, that's the actual one. Video game deals is the website. Pre-order start in 90 minutes. I'm kind of partial to Wario because if you guys don't know the history of Wario, when the original PlayStation 5 came out, Wario was all over the scalpers releasing the soft, telling you where you could get the software to try to beat the scalpers, which companies were doing it, all that stuff. So I've always been kind of partial to paying attention to Wario. Though there's a lot of good sources out there. What if they run out of digital copies? I don't know. At Games thinks they're going to need tariffs on. They're going to put tariffs on digital stuff. So who knows? That would certainly be frustrating, right? But then again, if you're doing digital copies, probably means you need to buy that SD card. So either way, you're stuck buying some game or some card anyway. I don't see it selling out. I'll wait for Switch 2 OLED unless it's ridiculously better than my OLED. So Big Kirby, what I'll tell you is that the people that saw it in person, that got to go to the experience and play because of the HDR, they say this looks way better than their OLED. So I'll just leave it at that the screen is of a really good quality, and then on top of that with the HDR, it really makes the colors and visuals pop. And their firsthand accounts were it looks better than the Switch OLED from a color, brightness, black standpoint, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, Newegg have Switch 2 memory compatible cards at decent prices. Yeah, so Newegg. So speaking of places people aren't thinking of, right? Newegg is one of those that does carry Nintendo stuff. Let me see if they have a pre-order page up. They do not. They certainly have lots of switches, but I'm not seeing any switch to pre-order page or switch to anything. Um, oh nope, there it is right there. Recommendation switch to. So let me stop sharing that. So appreciate you, Devastator Omega, bringing that up because here's a source people probably aren't thinking about. So another one where you can get your pre-order in tonight, right? So it's got the auto notify, which you can sign up for, but you can pretty much bet this is going to go live at midnight with everybody else, right? So this is again tips. Think outside the box. Go where people aren't going. Here's a Newegg. So you do have those options out here. So I might keep this on my radar to look at. I actually have a gift card to there that I've been sitting on for several years because I don't have anything to purchase from Newegg. But that is a really good option. So uh, good call. Uh, what the heck is this? It's a stream about hockey. Uh, Gamer Fridge fresh from Arcades Anonymous stream. I'm taking it. On the eve of Switch 2 pre-orders, I'd just like to wish everyone that wants to score one good luck. Yes, indeed. Appreciate the well wishes, Jay Pace, and for everybody. That's why we're here. Hopefully we all snag one. There, Adele might be another one. Always, Gamefly. You guys think about Gamefly as an option. That's always a sneaky one to grab leaks and stuff for Arcade One Up because they still sell those things and tend to leak a lot. So no quick, easy search for Switch 2 on there. They do have Switch games. So not seeing that. That is Dell, by the way, I'm talking about. Gamefly. See what they got going on. So they do not even have Switch 2 category yet on their site, which is interesting. But they do have some Switch 2 stuff if you're interested in what's coming out. That's interesting. They, always listing things way before they're supposed to. But most of this is just garbage Switch games, I think. Consoles, nothing. Yeah. So nothing on Gamefly that I can find. Buyers only stream. See above for tips. See. At midnight, add Walmart and Best Buy to queue, then try to check out at Target, etc., where you can use PayPal, but make sure it's logged in and cached. That way the payment won't process using the hosts. Oh, that's a good tip. See, Walmart, Best Buy and Walmart do not have the S2 Pro controllers as a single item. So they do. I have them up. I'll drop a link for you. You don't need all that stuff. Actually, you might. So here's your Best Buy Pro controller. What was the other one you said? Walmart. And here's a link to your Walmart one. So there's a couple links for you that should get you to where you need to go. If you're wanting to order just the Pro controller. Do you think Best Buy will purposely fake the Switch 2 being sold out so they can get their customers to buy the bundles instead? It's possible. That's how they used to do it, right? They used to literally bundle those things together and say you have to take this whole package with you when you didn't have pre-orders and you just bought them the day of. So it's always possible they do that. They say, nope, we allocated X amount to these bundles. I don't know if that's the case. Good luck to you too, Michael B. Are you chatting on my stream during your stream? So that's very interesting because Mike is also out there trying to stream and get that. So hopefully they don't do that. It appears to me to just be a way to auto add stuff to your cart, KFB. Oh, there you go. He hasn't actually started yet, so that makes sense. It's a good thing if you're going Best Buy, try that. It's going to save you less clicks bundle wise. If you were wanting one of those bundles, could work the opposite way too. What if they have more of single units than bundles? You try to get the bundle and then the single units are and it's gone and you're stuck with the single units, but then they're going out. So who knows how that's going to work? Try doing all of those things and just don't cross the streams. Yeah, I think this is right, MG. I think they are just like they're literally helpful widgets to get it down for you to have one less click. Um, great non-conspicuous plug. I love it. Stop advertising your stream on here, Danny the Game Genie. That's funny. Yeah, so hopefully we all get this and it's not the crap show that they used to be. I know Nintendo is really trying this time. Nintendo's notorious for purposely shipping short and creating that FOMO and artificial hype because they got news media and everything else. It really feels like we're living in the era of a new Nintendo. Not only are they kind of lackluster in the new features on this system and for the first time releasing a system solely for more power, but they're producing like crazy to try to meet demand for this. So that's different, so it's gonna be fun. We're down to 30 minutes, so we're getting in that window. KFB refuses to buy any bundles out of principle. That certainly was something I used to do. I used to hate when they would bundle. It used to make me so mad because obviously they do the bundles with crap you don't want. Like, oh, here's the you want to get it at GameStop, you also have to buy a gift card and you have to buy these 2 games you have no desire to buy. Or obviously Best Buy was notorious for that too. They didn't necessarily do gift cards, but they would put in like 5 games or some crazy shit. So you really had to buy a lot of stuff. That's the other thing, MG. Since you're obviously going hard on Best Buy, do you know, like when the PS5 came out, Best Buy sold that like premium membership that if you paid the like $200 annual, you were supposed to get first dibs on consoles and systems like this. I believe that program is still going, but I haven't heard anything about it in terms of the Switch 2. It seems like just everybody's in the same boat and they're not really doing that special membership has its privileges thing. But I don't know. I mean, you missed the LAN parties. Yeah, those were always fun. Think the standalone Colts will be sold out in milliseconds. God, I hope not. Had to buy the bundle crap for Xbox Series X, but they were games, so it was meh. Yeah, see, I luckily avoided that, but I didn't buy Xbox Series X at launch. I was kind of like not gonna get it, and then when I actually did, randomly a week or 2 after it came out, found it in store. Of course, I bit and bought it anyway. And now I find myself rarely playing the Xbox and having to force myself to buy games on it just so I can justify having bought the stupid thing. I got the PS5 before having the membership. I got both Xbox and PS5 at launch. They stopped paywalling the same as Walmart seemed to stop. Interesting. Yeah, I will say I got my PS5 on launch day because I did the tip I said before, go where others aren't going. And I certainly did try to get it the during the release waves that all these sites were having, and obviously you couldn't do it. They were just bombarded with people and scalpers and everything else. But then I started, saying, well, where else? What are my other opportunities? And I found a store here locally that I knew would have it. And I went over to their website, and sure enough, there it was. And I was able to just casually purchase the pre order and got it obviously the day it came out. So it's pretty crazy, like, how some of that works. If you just kind of try to think, obviously Newegg is one that got brought up. We looked at a couple others trying to find them. Those are still, big websites, obviously, but people aren't going to be thinking, oh, let's go to Newegg. Let's go to Newegg. Um, that's certainly going to be where people aren't. But I really encourage you to think about local places or regional places that aren't big online retailers that most people aren't going to know about. Like, do you have um, you know, rec room companies? Do you have local video game shops that sell new video games? Like I would imagine, like Retro Rick's Game Point, I know he carries new video games. I would imagine he has some uh, Switch pre-order capabilities. So I'd imagine many other local video game shops might as well. Um, is somebody like Vintage Stock going to have pre-orders? Is I don't know that they sell video games. I was gonna say like somebody like Barnes and Noble, are they gonna do it? But I don't think they sell video games. But places like that, if you can think of like, what are these multimedia stores in your area? We used to have Hastings, big college towns had Hastings. I think they all went out of business at this point, but those are places like those kinds of things are going to be really like if if it does get super hard to find, those are going to be the ones you want to pay attention to and jump on. Uh, uh, Dave here says Kohl's sells switches, so that's another one. Maybe their site they're doing like Amazon. Maybe it won't go live until right at the right time, or maybe they don't want to deal with pre-orders at all and won't actually put anything up until launch day. Um, but something to keep an eye on. And I lost my stream tab. There we go. The Best Buy membership is mostly overpriced, worthless hype, but Best Buy knows this. So if you buy it, you can talk the manager into doing whatever's necessary to make you not complain to corporate. That's interesting. Uh, there you go. Cyan got his 360 at Hastings at launch. Yeah, I used to love Hastings. Movies, video games, comic books, man, you name it. Music, they had everything. Sam's Club, yep. Sam's Club, Costco. Um, that's a good one. That's Sam's. Uh, so I'm not seeing anything yet on their website or anything for it, but that might be one you definitely pay attention to for launch day is Sam's. Um, I can definitely see them getting a bunch. DoorDash Pass is worth it. Yes, if you DoorDash a lot, you probably are better off paying the pass to avoid at least some of the fees. It doesn't stop them from jacking up the price of food. Hasn't been this excited since they launched the COVID vaccine. Interesting. Obviously, I was pretty excited with the PlayStation 5 30th. Those are all sitting over there still unopened. Though I didn't actually get the one I wanted. Uh, what did we do here? Did I click on an actual? All All right, 30 minutes to go. So Wario's just doing a countdown. But that's always fun. Devastator walked into a local Target with zero intentions to buy a PS5 and snagged one on launch day. Yeah, that's awesome. Nice to see you, Chaotic. I hope obviously you had to duck out towards the 8 o'clock hour of your guys' show with Perfect Storm. Hopefully that continued to go well. Looked pretty interesting conversation over there. abt.com. What is that? I've never even heard of that website. Oh, yeah, okay. I have. That's there's one of those by PD7. So we don't have those. So there's a good regional one, right? That's a really good one for those that have. Yep, and there it is right there. Switch to gaming consoles. They got the console or the console with Mario Kart. So another good one. So thanks for sharing that, Jason. That is definitely a winner right there. So there you go. ABT. This guy's the expert. So you got lots of different pictures. I don't know if I assume they obviously they got the two different. Boy, that does not want to. Interesting web page you got going on there. So in all likelihood, these will possibly go live tonight. So this is again, if they don't, they're probably live in the morning, right? So pay attention to sites like this, like Jason's hot tip here. So now you got Newegg, you got ABT, got some options going for these. We'll probably miss the launch listening to James stream about how not to miss the launch. Well, hopefully not, because when we get down here, we're 20 minutes away. We're going to be full bore trying to get this thing. My girlfriend has a bunch of Best Buy gift certificates from work. Should I hit her up? Oh, man. Like, I would not want to be the one loading in gift certificates trying to get that to process fast, because unless you can get them preloaded, you might spend all day loading them in trying to get that thing locked in there. How's it going, Joe Cade? MG wants to pass out. Yeah, because oh yeah. Dave says, good luck. Thanks. Hopefully we all get it who want it. If it were entirely up to me, I think I'd rather upgrade to a PS5 Pro than a Switch 2, but it isn't. I have a PS5 Pro. Save your money. If you have the regular PS5, it's definitely not worth the upgrade, in my opinion. It's really expensive for what it is. And it doesn't add all that much performance. If you ask me, Micro Center may eventually have them, possibly. Don't really. I mean, they do sell Switch stuff. That's really the only thing that they really sell aside from some arcade type stuff. Stop it. Stop it. Just checking, of course. It thinks I actually want an actual Switch. Yeah, so nothing listed yet. Obviously, you saw the consoles there. They had Switch 2 or Switch and Switch OLED. So in all likelihood, oh, that's ads. I was like, why do they have arcade art? Check 10 minutes before. Yeah, I'll definitely, once 10 minutes hits, that's where it'll be mad refreshing. Trying to get these, and I'll actually be refreshing on a different computer. So if they do go live, that's where I'll be doing it, not where you guys can watch me order. Why does James put words in my mouth? Because I like to. Uh, no, you said James makes me wanna pass out. You just said, I didn't say I wanna pass out. That is exactly what you said. James makes me wanna pass out. uh, get a shower and a poop in. That's a good idea. Got to have full focus. Yep, Newegg is a good tip. Been refreshing since 9 a.m. I don't blame you. I keep running over to while we're talking here, refreshing or redoing an Amazon search over and over, hoping it just suddenly pops up. You know, they obviously had dropped a few games for pre-order early. Now nothing to write home about. They're all kind of third-party independent games, but would be great if just suddenly the main one showed up. Uh, you're right, MG. James doesn't interpret things correctly, so I guess you'll have to correct me. Uh, so it's of course, there's not really much use. These are things are all timed and everything else, but always worth just hitting the menu anyway. Makes me feel better. Got auto notify set for Newegg. Nice. All right. Let me check where we at in this poll over here. No. So only about 54%, basically 50-50, are interested in actually purchasing one of these. So with 100 people watching, hopefully, you know, you're sticking around watching a long time for something you're not going to buy or don't have any interest in buying, I guess. But it should be fun to watch everybody be, I guess if you're a masochist, you would enjoy um, maybe people not being able to get it. That could be entertaining too, I guess. Um, um, I can't get Switch with Mario and physical Mario. Uh, but as a bundle on Best Buy, I mean that could be interesting. um, and don't want to pay for it. I know. I skipped the other one that you don't want to pay for. Cornercade says zero interest. I did make my purchase and a one-up Dynamo Street Fighter open box today. Get hyped. We can't get hyped. That was a 2-year-old cab, Danny. Everyone that says they're not interested are still going to try and they'll still screw over people that are really interested. Yeah, I mean that's entirely possible, right? Um, I, for one, am probably going to bed after this midnight madness. um, I'm stupid and indecisive, also impulsive at times, says Dane Bramage. Pretty much probably sums up all of us. we're all in making these impulsive decisions to buy something right away that only really has one new game on it out of the gate. And it's a really expensive new game at that, but it'll be fun. And obviously, Nintendo is Nintendo. They're going to crank out some amazing, amazing games. Speaking of which, I was kind of thinking about, what would have been my top 10 Switch games, and I'm thinking along the lines of Switch games that were native to the Switch, not came over from the Wii U, maybe not available on other consoles. So what were kind of exclusives or native Switch games that you guys would be in your top 10? I'm kind of interested. I've been thinking about that a lot over the last, few days to last week as reflect on the Switch 2 coming out and the Switch 2 coming to the end of its life. What were some of the bangers for you guys that you think are gonna live on for you long beyond the Switch's lifetime? For me, it's the biggest one is probably Tears of the Kingdom. I thought that was a monumental achievement. Not only a great game, but one that what they built into that sandbox to be able to basically create almost anything your imagination can come up with, and it not bug out and error out all the time and run so flawlessly was just pretty amazing. 1,001 ways to kill a Korok. You know, so many fun things in that. TechBuzz wants a new Castlevania game, and yeah, we are way, way overdue for one, a new one for sure. A lot of good collections, Castlevania collections over on the Switch One. Um, yeah, there are no $90 games that I know of. Obviously, if you get special editions, but the rule of thumb is the $80. Um, that's their, Nintendo started that with Tears of the Kingdom, right? They $60 regular, 70 for their quote unquote like games that took more to develop. And so as we're coming out of the gate, you got Mario Kart at 80. Most of the other stuff are still at the $10 less, the 70 rate, with some exceptions, right? Uh, they're charging more for Tears of the Kingdom. They're charging 80 for that one. There were a couple others I saw that's like, man, why is that one 80? But um, kind of ridiculous. Definitely think it's ridiculous on Tears of the Kingdom. It doesn't make any sense to me. That's just a money grab. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would bet Metroid Prime 4 is going to be $80 whenever that releases. Are we ever going to get a new Mario, a new 3D Mario or a 2D 3D Mario? Um, I personally hope it's not Odyssey 2. I hope they do something completely like new. But who knows? But yeah, they haven't announced that. We're gonna have to wait a year to get one of those. Uh, it's been a long time, but heck, it took them 11 years to come out with a new Mario Kart. So a new Mario itself, maybe 3 years into the Switch 2 before we get one of those, which would be crazy. Oh, you got 11 minutes, KFB, you'll be fine. um, yeah, yeah, I think the Tears of the Kingdom is 80. But I think Breath of the Wild is 70. So yeah, it's nuts that they're charging that for a game that's already been out that you can go buy the other version and get a free upgrade if you're Nintendo Switch Online, which if you're playing this, I'd be shocked if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online. Give it a little refreshy fresh. Nothing so far. We're in our 10-minute window. So I know KFB is feeling it. You guys feeling it yet? Is the anticipation there? Are you getting antsy? I really hate the way they do these things. It's all, you guys remember camping out for concerts and standing in line to get concert tickets. And then when they switched to doing the lottery method, so you stood in line just to get a lottery ticket and you could have shown up 10 minutes earlier and been at the front of the line. And the people that camped out all night end up at the back of the line. This all reminds me of that. Drives me nuts. I hate this way. I really wish Nintendo had done their like reservation thing that they were selling them tonight. Like, why are you waiting until May to do it? Um, TechBuzz says it's hoping this goes smooth and quick. He's ready for bed. I am too. I also have to get up at 6:30 a.m. I'm definitely tired. Um, yeah, you'll be disappointed real quick. Yeah, I just hope we don't see where the sites don't work. Obviously, the demand for this is way higher than any PS5 30th anniversary thing. So the intensity of the demand on these sites could be pretty insane. Just absolutely nuts. Um, check. Stop doing that. 10 minutes. Wrong button. So I'm going to get my refresh going on here. All right. I'm going to be hitting refresh and F5 over and over and get this other computer up and going. Minimum of 2. I'm hoping that at least sites uh, start off at least. Oh, I must have turned the screen off. Start off with a limit of 1 per person. I know people want to buy multiple, especially with this being a mobile, right? Like chances are you want to get these for, um, if you have multiple kids, each one's going to want one, right? Yeah. And TechBuzz says here, right? Kids saving their pennies. It's like a cowboy at high noon. That's exactly right. Benefits of being the boss. I show up when I want. That is the perk, right? Is this a physical actual cart or a key cart? So the only key cart that I've seen out of the gate was Bravely Default. So that goes live tonight for pre-order, releases day one, but that's a key card. So I'm not buying Bravely Default on physical cart. Um, so because of that, but it's only $40, but you don't get the game. So what's the point? All the rest of these are the full game on the cart. Of course, I'm sure there will be patches, but technically you'll be able to play the game without the patches. Oh, is Street Fighter 6 a game card? Um, I hadn't seen that. I totally believe you. Yep, it is. Street Fighter 6 is a game key card. Yeah, so why buy it? Right? Why buy the physical? That doesn't make any sense. It's useless unless you just want an empty box for some reason. Um, but Cyberpunk isn't. Though I don't see that listed anywhere as pre-order, so that must not be a day one launch. But Bravely Default and Street Fighter 6 seem to be the big ones. You guys ready? And we are right. 4 minutes. Clock is ticking. Oh man. Going round the horn. Still nothing on Amazon, which is just bonkers to me. Just absolutely bonkers. Oh, and of course, you're probably going to get nagged to add service plans, which is going to slow you down. So be ready to click no on those if you're going to get them. Scalpers can sit on them. Yeah, exactly. Um, I'm going to attempt to buy, not going to get upset if I don't get one. That's a good lesson to have. Went to the bathroom with my pants around, didn't risk leaving. I don't think these are going to sell as fast as people think. That's my opinion as well. Fourth Horseman, but we will see. I'm mainly concerned about the games themselves, like, um, but at the same time, if you don't get the game, you can buy it digitally. You don't have to have the physical game. Come on, let's get this party started. 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes and counting. Okay, interesting. Walmart is now on their app having technical difficulties. So the Walmart app has blown up when it comes to the Switch. Sign in to join the line. So there's a line on Walmart if you um, so I'm in line at Walmart. So make sure you guys get in line. You can already get in line if you're going to purchase on Walmart. And it's funny because the phone app is like crushed. So it's not working on the phone app. Um, but at least I'm in line at Walmart. Best Buy app froze for chaotic. And I really want to get this at Target, though, not Best Buy. So I got to pull up where I could see the Walmart page since I'm sitting in line in case that one pops. So keep an eye out for Walmart. Hopefully, you guys got in line there. And I know you're feverishly refreshing as we all are. We are right at time. Pre-orders have sold out on Target, gone instantly. Absolutely bonkers. Target went immediately. That is just like there was no even moment where you had an opportunity. They were just gone. Wait, something's not right. It's saying everything's sold out. There's no way Target sold out of every single thing. All right, you can pre-order a Pro controller right now. and the pre-orders for the console are up. So whatever was showing they didn't have them was kind of acting bonkers. Come on, let me check out. Come on, you stinky thing. There, check out. The hell? Why do I have to enter my address? You know my shit. Oh, come on. Yeah, so the site is definitely acting somewhat wonky. So hopefully you guys are scoring yours. And order placed. I got all the items I wanted. So waiting for it to confirm I got them all, but let me place the order. So yep, order confirmed. Awesome. So woohoo. That was fun. So I got everything I wanted. So definitely not as pressure intensive as we thought. So I'm going to kind of monitor and see what other Switch 2 stuff is still available. Yeah, you can still get the SD cards. So that's fun. Of course, all the amiibos are still out there, which is really funny. Zelda's still out there. Of course, pre-order for Bonanza, July 17th. Jamboree isn't until the 24th. You got the Breath of the Wild is the 5th. Man, Kirby Forgotten Land isn't even until August 28th. So yeah, there's like yeah, pretty interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I said be careful not to do, which is pre-order Donkey Kong. I figure got it here, might as well do it, lock it in before any other price increases come out. Come on. Yeah, it's funny, like how goofy their site's being. So how'd you guys do? Did you guys get what you were looking for? Like Chris got one. Has not been available on the Best Buy site for him. Target sites are dead. They're working for me right now. The Walmart one I had has me in line, but never came off the have you online. My wife and 2 kids have Switches. I still don't have one, waiting for the Switch One price crash. It broke Best Buy shit. Target has been crashed for 6 minutes. So maybe try a different browser or something, Jason. Like Target's working fine for me. I even went bad and placed another order for more stuff. So um make sure I got my confirmation email from them, even though that order I know went through. So no confirmation email yet, but hopefully it does. Because man, it said it went through. Um, yeah, I'm gonna screenshot this just so I have my order number and confirmation and everything. It's there. I confirmed it, went in and looked at my orders. So not concerned there. I got what I wanted. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully you guys are having better success. Still waiting on Best Buy, MG says. Couldn't use Target card, had to do Apple Pay. We got dead air from all browsers on Targets. That's really sucks. How about the app? Did you try the app? The app seems to be working for me as well. So the app is fully up, ready, allowing me to pre-order. So definitely try the Target app. If you're having trouble on the website itself. Uh, Interesting. Yeah, now their app blew up on me. The app stopped working as I was checking out for the second time. Yeah, so multiple people are seeing. Luckily, I got mine in, but multiple people now are saying Target dead. Target app message says they're bogged down. Yeah, my guess is once everybody is having trouble with like Best Buy and others, they probably all jumped to Target where it was working. There, now mine's back. Um, what is that car number? Using a new delivery address. I'm not using a new delivery address. Checkout button. It's weird that it thinks I have a different address. Yeah, it's the same address. What the hell is happening? Definitely having some issues getting the second one out. So the second order is just one of those memory cards and the Donkey Kong banana thing. Um, so nothing special, right? Like stuff that they should have plenty of, I would think. But because their website's all screwy, it's not like I'm trying to buy another Switch and let other people get those. What the hell is happening? Best Buy app is back up for Dane. B. Kirby got talked into it. The FOMO got him. Maybe Best Buy is tomorrow. It's supposed to be tonight. There's no messages or anything on their website at all. Everything I've said said Best Buy was tonight with everybody else. But it sure looks like it's not. Maybe they got the time wrong and maybe they're rolling it out weird. Let me see what they're saying over on Twitter. Best Buy has not gone live yet. Stand by. It's all it says. People getting success in Walmart. Stay in line if you're in. Lots of success on the Target app. That's what they're saying on Twitter. It says refresh the checkout continuously until it works. TechBuzz got his at Walmart, so nice score. Yeah, it just says coming soon. So it looks like still for some reason Best Buy didn't go live on time. Makes me wonder, like, yeah, I mean, I still can't get that second order to process on mine. So trying on the app, and it's just not going through. And I'm not going to cry about it. It's, you know, not anything I need. Just wasting an extra $150. um, okay, I switched over to the browser. Um, so it's doing the same thing. I can't actually check out. Just wants to die. So Target was doing good for a while. Not so much anymore. And let's see, where did you go? See if Best Buy has any announcements that they've made. Yep, nothing. Best Buy's Twitter hasn't been updated since 2022. So good to know that Best Buy's all over engaging with their customers. That's pretty funny. Ah. Regular Switch 2 is now sold out via Target, it says. Cheap ass gamers reporting that. You've got the Hori camera, which again is only 480p, which is that thing is for sale on Walmart. Um, Pre-order for Cyberpunk 2077 did go live on VGP. $100 Canadian. So I am not Canadian, but if you have VGP, you can already pre-order Cyberpunk over there. This is a terrible experience. Best Buy is trash, KFB says. I know the silence from MG is deafening. I know he had his heart set on Best Buy. Still not live on Best Buy. Now we got a good spin on the checkout at Target. It might go through the second time. Nope. It honestly does not surprise me that Target has sold out, since like that seems to be like one place that's working. Nice. Jason got one on Target. Congrats. I really do hope MG gets one. I know he's wanted one. Um, Devastator said, I had a chance to buy at Target, but didn't pull the trigger. Won it from Best Buy. Yeah, so hopefully, no, Danny, don't be a scalper. Okay, well that was fun. my my computer is whatever it's doing. Well, that was fun. Whatever it's doing, it's installing updates or something and acting really squirrely after the crash. So not sure what's going on over there. So I had to jump over to another computer, which wasn't set up for this. Oh, Target canceled your order? How did you find that out? Hopefully that's not. I did get my confirmation, no cancellation, so at least I got mine. But I'm not trying to. So apparently, like some of the later ones got their cancellation through email. I did just get my confirmation through email. Says it came in at 11:12. Did you get the confirmation, Jason, or did it just tell you, sorry, we had to cancel your order? Second Target order canceled. That sucks, man. That really blows. Yeah, June 5th, MG. That really sucks, Jason. Hopefully you can
Oh, so MG, did you get one on Best Buy? Oh, this camera, like, have it set up in a good position. And you're blurry for some reason. There you go. You guys can stare at my ceiling. So while it's crashed, we lost like 60 people in the audience. So hopefully everybody's, gets theirs. That sucks, Jason. Hopefully you can pick it up somewhere else. Yes, Danny, I got my order confirmation. I got mine. There you go. Arcade Star Wars fan says Best Buy is up. So go over there. If you guys didn't score one at Target or had your order canceled, which is absolutely crazy. Site's loading extremely slow for me, but it says the single one says coming soon. But it does look like you can order the bundle right now. The one with Mario Kart is available. And it looks like a bunch of the other bundles are available. So the one with 3 games is ready to go. You can add it to the cart for $7.29. Looks like the one that comes with the physical Mario Kart can be ordered. So it looks like you do have some options right now on Best Buy. If you're hoping to get there, you do have a few of them still going. Basically, if the bundle includes, you can't order the one without the Mario Kart, but if the bundle includes the Switch that comes with the Mario Kart, it seems like you're good to go. I'm just going to check some of these. Well, now it says now See Details is on that one, on the regular one too. So maybe that one just wasn't active yet. Yep. So now the standalone Switch 2 system is available for pre-order. So that one must not have popped on, or they had some extra cancellations. So all bundles and systems are available right now on Best Buy. Keep refreshing, Jason, because they all say they turned it to a blue button that says See Details, and then you can order. And so all mine have the See Details up. Yeah, so it looks like that's not the case right now, Omega. You can get with the bundle or without the bundle. Nice. Jason's in line. MG's in line. So we'll hang out here until we hear. Like, we want to see if you guys get yours. If you guys do, we'll have had people that got success at Walmart, Target, and Best Buy. Man, what a interesting experience. How different people's everything was reacting for people. Knowing that what you guys were watching, was delayed. I guess that's part of it too. So. I'm going to go check on my other computer real quick. 1 second. Are the Zelda Enhanced games the old cart plus the code? No, it's the whole thing on the Zelda Enhanced. You get the whole game on the one card. But obviously, if you have the old game and you have Nintendo Switch Online, you can get the Enhanced for free, and you don't need to buy the new one at all, unless you just want it for some reason, which eventually I will buy them because I just want to have all versions of that. I even have I bought the overseas version because it was the only one of Breath of the Wild that came with all the DLC on the cart and everything. So that is the one difference, I guess. If you get the Breath of the Wild one, all the DLCs and everything are on there. I also got this the other day. Look at that. Tony the Tiger action figures. Fist of Love is in line for Walmart and Best Buy. Had one in the cart at Target but couldn't check out. Fist of Love, that sounds like that's probably good because some people got their orders canceled on Target. Chaotic. Little nephew birthday coming up. Want to give him a nice present. A Switch would be a very nice present. Let's see. MG, what did you say up here? Did we establish? Online and Best Buy. Tony C says YouTube video. Oh, anyone else see the Skeletor announces the Switch 2 release? No. I'll definitely have to check that out. I love those robot chicken Skeletors and stuff. TechBuzz is in 3 lines at Best Buy in different browsers and 1 in Walmart, so good luck there. I'm in all the lines. I'm a line whore. My Walmart months have been active for 15 minutes. They've done nothing. Yeah, my Walmart one hasn't done anything either. It's just sitting there. And I got into that pretty quickly, so it was weird that it didn't do anything, but whatever. And I'm going to go again check my computer. So that was a ton of fun with computer crashing, not coming back, having to jump computers just to keep things going. The stuff you do when you don't have anybody else on the stream with you. Jason's on 2 Best Buy lines. And what's this says? So while we're waiting to get mugged by Nintendo, what's the news on Iconic Arcade? Wasn't it supposed to be out in April? No. So a production was supposed to start in April, or maybe there was some news in April, but the shipping was scheduled end of June is when they said. And the latest news is just what we know from B. Kong's appearance at I always forget the name, ARC's World Tour, where they made the official statement that it would be slightly delayed as they made adjustments based on, the design changes, things they needed to do in light of tariffs and things. So a bunch of mumbo jumbo. So the news is it's delayed, and we've heard nothing since, nothing officially other than that, which is a weird way to announce it because you could email the people that have pre-orders. You could make a statement on your website. You could post something on Twitter, like anything, and we've heard nothing. Arcade Star Wars fan says, Walmart let me in the pre-order button, but won't let me add to cart. I hate that. I am mirrored on my camera, so whatever crashed, I am backwards. That's why the lights look weird to me.
and why I look like I'm facing the wrong direction. That's frustrating. I don't even think in StreamYard you can fix that without leaving and coming back. Maybe you can. There we are. Unmirror. There we go. Now I feel better. Almost had it from Target, got all the way to checkout with Apple Pay and click submit, but failed. That sucks. I'm not mirrored now, but I was. Does anyone want to buy my physical copy of Mario Kart World? It was my only choice. So you got the system and you had to get the bundle. Is that what you're saying, KFB? At least you got it. Yeah, honestly, you could probably just return the Mario Kart World for a full refund. MG. Yep, I'll give you $50. I got 2 ordered from Walmart, 1 from Best Buy, no games yet. I'm working on the last one. Wow, TechBuzz racking up 3 of them for the family. Yeah, here we go. Here's KFB saying Best Buy worked for him. So the wait was worth it. All the stress, all the wait, you nailed it. Gonna return Mario Kart 100%. There you go. I think that's hilarious. Yeah, Target, I don't know what's going on there. I would abandon Target for now. It's been quite a while since their system won't let you process payments. And if you're like Jason and Jason got canceled on 2 different orders, so be weary. Even if it does let you through, you might not get it if you actually have a system ordered. It might hose you up. Are you guys really going to play the Switch with everyone you guys already own? I have 18 arcades and can't play them all. Danny, it plays different games. And of course, Mario Kart 8 is a great, fun community game, but you can only have so many racers. With Mario Kart World, we can have 24 community members all racing against each other. It should be a ton of fun. And Danny, you will have FOMO. I know you, and you're going to end up wanting to get one. Maybe not. I mean, I just think it'll be funny because I think it's going to be a blast when we're all playing and streaming, and 24 racers at once is going to be a good time, hopefully, if it works well. I was lucky enough to get one from Target, another from Walmart. My son's birthday happens to be on the June 4th. Lucky him. Yeah, excellent. My Cockhurt says I was trying to buy one on the app with the Circle card and that didn't help. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, the app was supposed to be like the money thing and it had more problems than the website did. How are people getting multiple Switch 2s and I can't even get one? That's exactly it. Yeah, that was the weird thing, right? Like I was in and you guys were, there were people in the chat saying that they couldn't, like the sites were down or whatever. And it was just like working fine for me. So it was very strange. Like what it is my guess is their load balancer, not my session stayed up on whatever server I was hitting. And whatever server some of the other guys were hitting was just keep routing to the same down one because the way they do load balancing. Oh, you got a confirmation from Target as well. So maybe you will get one. That's weird. So you got one from Target and one for Walmart. That's excellent. So Jason scored. Very nice. Then I got somebody ordering Amazon books. Like, what are you doing? This is Switch Go Live time. MG's target is console only. Both Best Buy windows are still online. That's good. Now we're going to have egg on our faces if this ends up like the Wii U. Yep. I honestly, I wouldn't mind if it ends up like the Wii U. Wii U is one of my favorite Nintendo systems of all time. I love it. You know, there's the whole set over there, but lots of fun stuff. You know, lots of really good, you know. Let's see here. You know, who doesn't want Devil's Third sealed? You know, probably never play the game, but we got a nice good seal there. Got sealed, you know, the hell is this one called again? Brain stopped. Oh yeah, Twilight Princess sealed. Like, so I have a lot of Wii U's that are still sealed. Anyway, so many fun, exciting Wii U titles, man. I loved it. Yeah, so Mystery Encoder, I got one at Target. I think Jason got two. One from Target, one from Walmart. So lots of people are getting them, snagging them, even though it's been a rough, bumpy ride. It seems I haven't heard really anybody yet that's like got totally shut out at this point because they're still taking orders at Best Buy. You would think they're Neo Geo Evercade handhelds. That's hilarious. That is absolutely fucking hilarious. Autumn KC says I ordered from Best Buy. Congrats on picking one up there. Fourth Horseman got a second one from Best Buy. So people are stacking up, right? People are getting 2, 3 of these things. Target sold out of Pro controllers. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised those lasted as long as they did because this stuff is supposed to be in such short supply, but it doesn't seem to be, does it? They're taking a lot of orders on some of those games and accessories. So, G says he doesn't think it's going through. That's probably the Target one. Yeah, the suspicious thing. Hate that. Mike B couldn't get one. Yeah, I mean, he has to order from Canada, right? So that kind of sucks. I hopefully he kept banging away at it, and maybe like Best Buy had their same delay that in Canada that they did here. Oh no, Walmart let MG check out, but he didn't click it and it timed out. That sucks. And he got the confirmation with a new order number. So that's good, Jason. You're probably safe. So they must have detected that it was a screw up or something and reissued the order for you. That's good. Uh, I'm in line. Oh, I forgot to add the camera. Now that you say that, I totally forgot the camera. All I did was grab the damn it. Oh no, I didn't. I did grab the camera. Whew. I was thinking, oh, I was gonna buy that thing just so I could like talk about it, and I didn't pull the trigger. Um, that was dumb. But I did get it. So well, and Target, by the way, if you guys are still at Target, Target seems to be working for orders now. I just got that second order I wanted to place for Donkey Kong and the SD card. They went through just fine just now, no issues at all. Um, and it looks like they still have most of the games and accessories. Of course. Uh, wow, I think the amiibos are like there's only one amiibo left that I can tell. Yeah, the at least one of them is sold out so far. The other 3 are still available. Of course, the Street Fighter ones are all available because who's going to pay $40 a pop for them? Don't really care about the amiibos anyway, but so it looks like Unibo was the one people did care about because that's the one that's sold out so far. Alter says, "Do you know any vampires?" I know all the vampires. Yeah, the amiibos looks like they're still up at Walmart. Pro Controller and Camera 2, good tip. Got through the line at Walmart. Yes, Jason, all these physical games are going to be available digitally. So you don't need to buy the physical unless you just want the physical. Science Spirit says he's struck out but still in line at Best Buy, so hang in there. Fourth Horseman got a day one PS5 also. Walmart says delivery the 7th. That's interesting. Well, hopefully that's wrong because like I said, they were advertising that you get guaranteed delivery by 9 a.m. on release day. Um, now I can go play Pinball FX VR in a good mood. Yes, excellent. Well, I'm glad you got one, KFB. You're locked in. It'll be fun. Definitely have to catch you online when we get our Mario Kart Worlds and get the race on. Devastator's been online at Walmart for almost an hour, 35 minutes at Best Buy. Yeah. MG seems to be having the same problem. Best Buy, wake up. Uh, KFB doesn't even have MK yet, he says. Walmart just woke up. Woo, or just worked. Congrats, odd but cools. Best Buys are still in line. Not sure you want a third? Why not? Uh, yeah, it says Omega click or click Omega, click stay in line but browse, then go to the Switch 2 page. It says pre-order max 1. I did just have a small ticker at the bottom that says you're in line. It's crazy. All these bundles all still show that they're available on Best Buy. I'll just say, with the amount of people getting 2 and 3 of these things, and we are an hour into the pre-order night, these things are not rare. They seem to be an ample supply. I know some people aren't getting through and are having issues, but man, that's, you normally you're 20 minutes in and they're all gone. You're lucky if you got one. We've got multiple people saying they've scored several. And yeah, Target is sold out. And I think Target's sold out because they were the only one working at first, right? So everybody jumped over there and went ham on Targets. Whereas now the other ones are sitting on stock, supposedly, and it'll probably be gone. I'm not going to say they won't sell out. They will. It's just taking longer than you would normally anticipate. Yeah, and MG's right. Like, some of these things people are going to give up, tired of sitting there, and then that whatever one they've got locked up will be freed up. We've got 2 lines going, Dane does. So this, and again, if you guys missed out, GameStop is your choice. Yeah, so did anybody, I appreciate the call out, Jason, about Newegg and ABT. Did anybody get a notify? I wonder if these go live in the morning. So again, your third and fourth options, if you're not into standing in line in the middle of the day at GameStop, because those go for sale 11 a.m. at GameStop in person on a Thursday, where I think people have to work. But very interesting. We'll say the new Pro controller is, it's got like the white buttons on the top, and it's going to have a very interesting look. So you'll at least be able to tell it pretty easily different than the main one. But there are already people in line at GameStop. There certainly are. I know I've heard stories, but I don't think, I think you might be seeing the lines getting a little bigger right now, right? I know somebody was watching earlier from a line. So who knows how that's going. Yeah, there's people already in line to buy the Switch 3. Hells yeah, there is. Very interesting. Arcade Dave says, I've been in line at Best Buy for 15 minutes. Chaotic wants a Switch 2, but won't buy one until Metroid. Yeah, and I think that's way later. Isn't Metroid like October or something? So you'll definitely have future waves come out. And my guess is you're going to see a lot of secondhand ones. Can we get James for 1 round? 1 round of what, Danny? 1 round of what? I know you're talking golf. I've been in line at Best Buy since they got off their effing arse and don't understand why the heck it's taking so long. Yeah, that is very weird. They must be having some kind of issues in the background, which is why they went late. The lines aren't moving very quickly. Just one round? You normally have to have like 10 or 12. Um, uh, Fourth Horseman says his went through in 2 minutes. Wow. Yeah, might get bumped out of one of the 15 lines Mike is in. Like, he's not gonna go golf. Gamer Fridge swore they wouldn't sell out. Well, he was never underestimate the power of Nintendo. Is somehow I closed my Walmart one. I'm curious if Walmart has sold out yet of the console. Uh, yeah, Walmart now will no longer let you add any of the Switch 2 console. Oh no, so I take that back. The Switch 2 without Mario Kart, the non-bundle one, you can still add at Walmart. But the $4.99 one is no longer can no longer be purchased. And honestly, that's the one I thought would sell out the most because that's the one that saves people $30. Um, so it doesn't surprise me that that one sold out at Walmart first, but that probably means the other ones are about to sell out. Um, you can still add, but it won't let you check out. So the one on mine won't even let you add. It now only it gives shipping out of stock, pick up, check up nearby stores, and you can't add it at all. But the regular one, the 449, you can add. Danny, go to sleep. You're hype drunk, says Chaotic. And we're back up to 100 streamers. So despite having the computer crash in the middle of the stream, we're back up and rolling. So as we're watching, looks like you can still add the Switch 2 without the Mario Kart at Walmart. Of course, Best Buy seems to still be letting you add all the different bundles and stuff, but nobody I've seen yet has gotten through the queue to actually be able to buy the thing. Though I think I did see Fourth Horseman got through in 2 minutes, so some people got through the queue. Wario 64 reported 4 minutes ago that there is now no queue for Switch 2 consoles at Walmart. So if you buy console only, you should be able to go through. See if it lets me do that. I mean, I'm not going to buy it, but let's see if it actually. Yes, it did. So if you are at Walmart, um, you might check and go outside that queue because it's showing it is available and it says I can check out. It's got me to review order. I don't want to order it because I already have one ordered. Really don't want to click place order, but I'm all the way to the end of the checkout and it says I can order it. Loading up on those junky cameras. Oh, you are correct, guys. So I'll just show that real quick. So you guys could see how much Walmart cash I have again because I didn't actually pay attention to the screen again. No biggie. But there you go. So you can't get it at Walmart. So now Walmart and Target are sold out. And the final hope is the Best Buys. And Jason just said Best Buy took him out of line and is allowing him to pre-order. So there you go. Let's see what it does for me. I just clicked pre-order on it and it put me in line. So there's at least still doing the leave the line. I don't need to be in the line. Yep. Yeah, that sucks. Best Buy now seems to be the last hope until GameStop and some of these other sites maybe tomorrow. The second queue just allowed me to pre-order, so it's still working. I'm about to decline both, so jump in. So he's going to let some ones go. And no street tacos. The line of disappointment. All right, so I think we're an hour plus an hour afterwards. I know. Appreciate everybody for dropping by. Don't forget to smash the like button. Obviously, I would love a subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Tell your friends about me. I don't know why. But appreciate everybody being here. I think it was a fun experience trying to do this. I'm glad a lot of people got it. Really feel sorry for those who weren't able to get it. But what do you want me to read, Danny? I'm in line for a Jurassic Park. Yeah, I know, Dane. I got to take it off there as soon as the stream's over. I'm just gonna pull it down. So, but yep. So it's out there and screwed that up. Everybody knows my name anyway. I don't hide my name, but my address. I don't really want to show to the whole world, but it's too late now. But so there you go. I again want to thank everybody for joining, hanging out. Hope you had success tonight. And I'm sure we will have a follow-up video tomorrow to talk about all the madness as I try to digest what else happened and take a look at the news, see what's going on. What I'm told is Mike did not get one, was not able to get one. So I'll probably follow up there too. So along with the Midwest wrap up here taking so long, I want to again thank everybody for dropping by and hanging out tonight. It's been a long one. It's been a fun one. These console drops don't come very often, and they certainly don't come often for Nintendo. So we'll do this again in 7 years. So until next time, have fun.